My name is Micheal Lego. I'm a tattoo artist here at Stay True Tattoo. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm gonna tattoo as long as I can. And the day I can't hold a machine will probably be one of the saddest, most heartbreaking days in my life. Like, I grew up wanting to know what was going on inside these shops. And then the more I learned about the industry itself, the more I fell in love with it. But learning about, artists like Lyle Tuttle, the first man ever for a tattoo artist to be on a copy of Rolling Stones. I had the pleasure of meeting Lyle a couple years ago before he passed away. And it was honestly one of the highlights of my career. It will always be one of the greatest nights of my life. The man literally took tattooing from this subculture and brought it to the mainstream. You have artists like Jack Rudy, Freddie Negretti that really took tattooing from the street aspect. I'm friends with Kate, Shanghai Kate. She is Ed Hardy's, or not Ed Hardy, Sailor Jerry's last apprentice. She's an amazing woman, and she has a plethora of knowledge in the tattoo industry. I've had the pleasure of getting to meet and hang out with Jackie Grisham. She's the oldest African-American female tattoo artist in the country. The woman is literally a walking museum of knowledge, and more so in the aspects of women in tattooing. Tattooing was approached in African nations through the females actually being the only tattoo artists in their industry. It wasn't a male-dominated industry like it is in America. I think being a part of all that ultimately helps drive me, knowing that I'm in an industry that has such strong roots in not just our society, but societies across the planet. I think it's a great thing to be a part of, and it's not really an industry, it's more of, I feel like they're my family. And that sense of family is an amazing thing. Future in the industry, I pray to God it's never like in Starship Troopers where it's stick your arm in a computer and the computer tattoos it, because that pretty much makes us all irrelevant. I see a lot of the industry going toward like hyper-realism. You see a lot of these artists like Nico Hirado, Steve Butcher coming out and doing these phenomenal tattoos that, like I said, 20 years ago, it wouldn't have been possible. And that's a big part of where digital arts come into the industry. I think that's really influenced the way stuff's approached today. But ultimately, man, tattooing is going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be some guy sitting with another person and using a machine. Today we are doing a Bible verse. They're probably in the top, say 5 tattoos that have been really popular for the last 10 years almost. There for a while, we were doing probably 2 a day, at least 3 a day sometimes. Whether it be just the title heading for the Bible verse or doing the full Bible verse, it's something that people usually feel a real connection with. Really, the text that I have tattooed on me, I mean, I got some stuff that was kind of done rebelliously, probably 15 years ago on me. Other than that, really, the text on me is like signatures from my children and a couple of my friends. I've let tattooed me, and it's usually, hey, do your name real fast or something like that. I will say my favorite tattoos out of all the ones I do have are the 2 signatures on my forearm that my children did themselves. Tattooing has always been a big part of my life, and it's a big part of their upbringing. They've grown up in the shops I've worked in, so when they turned 7, they got to tattoo me. And yeah, I mean, it's the whole sentimental value. That might be the tattoos I have on my body, but they're my favorites. First tattoo I got, I was 15 years old. I did a little lizard on myself with a homemade tattoo machine. I learned to build a tattoo machine when I was 13 years old from one of my older cousin's friends. I got a little lizard. I still have it to this day on my chest. I refuse to cover it up. It was the first tattoo I ever did. It was the first tattoo I ever got. I was just a drunk 15-year-old left alone in a trailer with a tattoo machine thinking I can do this, and it was a horrible idea. But I mean, it made me want to learn to do better tattoos. I think that's what I took from it the most. Like, that little tattoo, as stupid as it is, it made me want to learn how to do a better tattoo. I tell people all the time, like, I'm not just a tattoo artist, but like, this is a complete lifestyle. I mean, you've got to get in that mentality that your life is going to change once you become a tattoo artist. It's definitely a lot of nights away from your families. Like, we miss a lot of stuff in our kids' lives at the beginning of our careers, and you don't really get to see that part, you know, on a TV show. Like, I can't tell you how many of my kids' birthdays I missed because I was at work, but, you know, bills don't understand that. And your family's got to come first. I think ultimately what it is I want my kids to have a better life than I had. I grew up in a military family. Even being in the military, man, my parents still had to apply for food stamps because military families aren't taking care of like what people think they are. They have this picture in their head. And so like we struggled. I mean, we're middle class, blue collar family. There was a lot of the times where my dad was away from us. He was a fireman, so I saw what my mom had to go through trying to take care of me and my sister. And I don't want my kids to have to deal with that, honestly. If I gotta miss like a birthday, you know, man, it happens. Tattooing is a craft, man, and if we can pass it on to our children, that just means that our craft lives a little bit longer for at least one more generation. There's nothing in the world outside of my children and my family that makes me happier than tattooing. I've done everything. Well, not everything, but I've done home health care. I've helped manage restaurants. I've helped with group homes, take care of MR patients. Tattooing at the end of the day genuinely makes me happy. It makes me feel like I've contributed something every day. All right, well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. That's good. Cool. I'll be here. Tattooing is never going to go away. It's always going to be something that's going to be a part of our society. Fortunate enough, like I said, now it's more mainstream. It's not shunned down upon like it used to be. So I just see it being accepted more and more and more. Honestly, at this point, if you don't have a tattoo, I feel like you're more a minority. Tattooing is physically hard on your body. People don't see the way it wears us down unless you're actually in the industry. So a lot of A lot of artists nowadays have a specific style they're trying to achieve in their look. And if you go to an artist that doesn't specialize in portraits and be like, I want a portrait, you know, I mean, that artist is going to tell you, hey, look, I'm not comfortable doing it. Sometimes people get offended and thinking we don't want to do that tattoo, but it might be a tattoo that's out of that artist's skill set. And they get kind of frustrated by it, in turn it frustrates the artist because, you know, we just want to provide a positive experience. If it's something that I feel another artist in the shop can do, I'll pass it off to them. I'll let the customer know, hey, look, you know, I could do this, but if this person does it, you're going to get it better. And I think sometimes the customer gets offended by that. I like doing really cartoony. I like doing anime, anything comic books, horror movie related. Really, it's stuff that I grew up loving when I was a kid. It's the stuff that I want to tattoo now. I think my station, like, I think when people see it, they get a gist of the stuff that, like, I really love. Some artists that I've had the pleasure of actually getting to meet and pick up prints from them. Definitely horror movies are a big, huge influence on a lot of tattoo artists. I don't hide it. I think it's fun. I have a lady that comes in usually on her birthday. She's got an appointment, I think, tomorrow for a Donnie Darko piece. She has Art the Clown Terrifier piece that I absolutely love that I got to do. She has a Necronomicon from the Evil Dead. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies ever. And when she's like, I want a Necronomicon, I was like, I'm gonna hug you because, like, I want to do this. Every now and then we get these customers that come in and they really want something that really touches our core of, like, something that we truly love. And it's that much more fun to do that tattoo for that person. I love any of my customers that get anything horror related. Like, they're instantly my favorite person on the planet, at least for that 3 or 4 hours. You get this real bond with your customer when it's something that you truly love to do. And, like, those are our favorite people. Like, we know when they walk in the door, we get to do something really cool and we're gonna have a great day. But ultimately, when we speak to a customer, we have to speak to them with confidence. You don't ever want to leave room for doubt with someone that you might not be able to pull off their tattoo. You want to go into it with a positive attitude. You want to be excited about it. You really, really want to push, you know, your ideas on how to make it a little more your style. But like I said, at the end of the day, you want to give them a product that they're happy with. You want to give them something they're proud to show off. That they want to tell people, hey, you know, I got this tattoo from this person at this shop, and it was an amazing experience. As much as social media affects the way we perceive things with, like, Reddit and, like, reviews and stuff like that, Yelp, social media reviews, word of mouth is still the most positive type of advertising you have. Because when someone says, I went into this shop and I dealt with this person, you can hear it in their voice that they were excited, you know. If you can give a customer a positive experience and the next customer that they told, you know, is going to come in and they're going to be like, oh, well, I had a great experience. And it just keeps on. And I think that's a lot of us, like, with this shop in particular, like, we have an outstanding reputation for customer service and seeing to it that our customers leave here happy every single time.